Well, I don't know if many Australians know this. We used to have a petrol company here in Australia, and it stands for Australian Motoring Petroleum Oil Lubricants. But do you know the name of that company? Australian Motoring Petroleum Oils and Lubricants. But do you know it? Well, it's not American. It was bought out by America way back in 1990. Well, guess what? Caltex, the American company, got rid of it. Now it's back here in Australia. Ampol. Yes, Ampol. Australian Motoring Petroleum and Oil and Lubricants. Ampol. This is one of their ads, 1990. Have a look.
That's Ampol, you know. I'm one of those who paints white on my nose. I'm part of the whole heart and soul. I'm Mrs. Stratton, that's Ampol. Sun's coming up and the land's turning gold. Tomorrow is telling me I've got to go. A full tank of gas and I'm ready to roll. I'm Mrs. Stratton, that's Ampol.
See, that kid's even wearing a Cuba hat like mine.
About sharks on the beach, through the gravel and traveling far different roads. Cause I know who my friends are without being told. I'm Mrs. Stratton, as Ampol.
Australian Motoring Petroleum and Oil and Lubricant. Don't ever forget it. You should kick the blokes up the butt that sold us out to Caltex in the first place. Anyway, let's see if we got another Ampol one. Where is it? Oh, no, we don't want Amoco. Amoco, no, that's... Where is it? Ampol Petroleum? See if we can find you one. Come back to you.
Where do you find it? These days you'll only find a pretty flash nugget like this in one place.
Do you recognise this guy?
Right here. Every time you fill up with Ampol or by Max 3 Oil, you join Ampol's Australian Gold Rush. There's over $100,000 in gold and prizes to be won. Simply helping your country by buying Australian. Join the Gold Rush now. Australia's Ampol, as good as gold.
Now, if you don't remember him, he was the guy that used to do that TV show, Mysteries and that around Australia. And he's the guy that did the story on the Julie up there just north of Maitland in that town with the Yowie, and it chased her out. So, hello my Bigfooties. That's the guy, I can't think of his name. But anyway, but Caltex took over Ampol. And I remember we used to have an Ampol petrol station in Richmond, Western Sydney. And that was on the corner of West Market and March Street. And then it got turned into a Caltex and 7-Eleven and Caltex. And now they've flattened it. And now they've sold it off. And it's going to be a block of units. Thanks, Caltex. Great on you. Anyway. Another Australian oil. At least now we're coming back. And I've done a bit of a Google, actually. We've already got Ampol out places in the outback. Yeah, believe it or not, yeah, there's already a great big service station out at, I can't think where I look now. Where did I look? 1998 ad, there we go. So, let's look at the old Ampol. I think some of these are good. Oh, that's Welcome Back. See, look, that's Welcome Back Ampol 5 months ago. A lot of people don't realise that's what Ampol stands for. Let's have a gander. See, we gave it away too early. We sold out.
The beautiful princess married the handsome prince, and as usual they lived happily ever afterwards. Well, Harry,
this is a TV ad.
Time, we should have been in bed ages ago. Come on, come on.
What's that thing up on the mantelpiece, Uncle Jack? The pretty thing last on it.
You mean this?
Yes.
Uncle Jack? Don't you know that is?
I'll tell you the whole story. You see, It happened just like this.
What do you recognise there?
The trial started before a big crowd on a sunny day at Bondi in Sydney.
Bondi.
Rolled away, and we had 7,000 hard, uncertain miles to go.
See, there's a Vermilion.
Former world boxing champion Jim Carruthers and former Australian champion Carlo Martini, for example, took the count in the first 400 miles. For Evan Green, director of the trial, the start meant the end of months of planning. Doug Hughes of Melbourne got away nicely and kept going nicely too. 3 Sydney fashion models, Maureen Lanigan, Barbara Turnbull and Patsy Owens, started in their first trial. They didn't win a prize, but they went all the way round. More than I did in my first trial.
Yeah, Bondi Beach, wouldn't believe it, would you?
For Grandma Vance Brown and the 1927 Rolls Royce, it was their third and toughest handball trial. Happy Jack Witter, 1957 handball trial winner, started in a skiing jacket.
Oh, I love the TV camera.
Trial without Jack Murray, then more in a field of 148. I had Bill Murray, no relation Jack, thank heavens, as co-driver, and Bill Murison, top Chrysler engineer, as my mechanic and cigarette lighter.
Chrysler engineers, Valiant Chrysler.
The flag for us, and hi-ho, we were
There goes the almighty Holden.
We would have finished without a mark on our Chrysler, but this fate didn't lie in store for Brian and Pamela Powell and Dorothy Rosewell in
I
Carwell.
love the Beetle, the bug. Love it.
The cheerful lass in the centre is Jean, wife of Doug Hughes. She went with Betty Hughes and Iris Mountford.
Is that Prime Minister Hughes?
In the afternoon sunshine, we all rolled smoothly over.
Oh, look at the old wooden Sydney ferries.
Pacific Highway with 1,000 dusty, winding, and hard miles.
That's the Sydney Harbour Bridge. That's coming up the old Pacific Highway, just above Milson's Point into North Sydney, before the Ringa Freeway was built.
Highway and slap bang into a tight elimination section that had the cars and crews battling to save seconds. The cars had to move.
Where's
and
this?
The navigators had to run to clock in on time.
Oh, this, you got to remember,
Daybreak found the cars hiking down a narrow mountain pass from Armadale to Kempsey.
Armadale to Kempsey. Oh my goodness.
Malcolm Brooks, an early leader, made good time.
Armadale's up the north of New South Wales. Kempsey's on the coast, so they're coming down the mountain ranges.
These boys ran third in the 1957 handball trial, and they went mighty close to winning this one.
I always have fun watching all those old Australian commercials and Australian products at work. Look at that dust on the road, eh? So you don't know how lucky you are. That's now a tarred road.
On their tails, Victorian Stan McGlashan was certainly...
Oh, look at the little... I had one of them.
An old-timer, Len Elwood, competing in his 5th Round Australia
I had a 1958 VW Beetle.
You were on a Sunday drive. At Kempsey, roughly halfway to Brisbane, we were... on
Kempsey.
time.
Now, if you would have told them in 2000... Ooh.
During the night, Laurie did 3 somersaults over a bank near Dungog. A stock car driver, he drives a...
You remember Dungog? It's on the... It's out on my video. It's on the Patterson train. Julie from... I'm trying to think of her name. The Yowie girl. She was up there near Dungog.
We rolled on past the scenic beauty of northern New South Wales coastal resorts like Nambucca Heads.
Oh, that's when you used to go through Nambucca Heads. Now there's a big motorway up there.
Then, as night fell, into neon-lit Surfers Paradise. Finally,
Oh,
over Brisbane,
Surfers Paradise. That's over just in the Queensland border. Anybody from around the world doesn't know? Through Tweed Heads. You just jumped 400 miles.
Racing driver David Mackay got lost and lost points near Wyong, but still made it easy to Brisbane. There was no
Wyong?
chance for the suit.
That's on the north coast of New South Wales, just above Sydney. And he still made it into Queensland. How the hell did he do that? He must have went up the coast.
He revealed that Laurie's car wasn't the only one to crash on the first night of the trial. Trevor Shelley in car 79 and Ron Dunbier joined the N for Enders Club. Victoria's Leo Shallard and Ian Jackson lost their windscreen, but there wasn't even a speck of dust on our Chrysler. Well, I didn't know until Brisbane that there was a galah in the trial. I thought he was fishing at Tangalooma.
Lee, galah the bird, we call a person who's an idiot a galah.
Led the cars out of Brisbane. The garage came next, and a gay young lady, obviously waiting for me, gave them the big wave.
This looks like it's up there near Gympie.
70 miles north of Brisbane, and we were in the rough stuff again, on a stretch of road between Kilcoy and Nambour, with the
Oh.
spectacular Glasshouse Mountains in the background.
Yeah, well that's it. Yeah, Gympie's to the east. Nambour, Kilcoy. Kilcoy's the other Yowie sighting. You look up the Kilcoy Yowie.
A road of sudden twists and turns, sharp bends that slowed up drivers like Alan
Probably going to head up there towards Warwick or Toowoomba or somewhere.
Experienced trial drivers like Jack Witter and Bill Burns.
I haven't pre-watched this, I'm
And
just
another adversary in
guessing.
the big car class, Ron Gritzel in his custom line, take things carefully.
Ooh, what a turn. Up a hill, round a sharp bend and back down another hill.
Right.
Look at the, no guardrails. Jesus. This is real devil stuff. I mean, look at these hills, these cars are going up. There's no guardrails. You'd be dead.
A long plume of dust marked the progress of Les Cousins of Sydney in his Holden. Les drove all the way round with an Ampol sign on the roof of the car. Kingaroy brothers Kevin and Doug Parker took this corner carefully in their new Holden. You'll see this car again, but not looking like that. After a night's rest at Bundaberg, the cars pulled
Oh, Bundaberg now, they're up on the Bundaberg Rum.
on the long run to Toowoomba. Bill Robinson in car 67.
Oh, right, okay. So going up the east coast, up to Bundaberg, then they're going to turn around and come out to the southwest, to Toowoomba.
But got going again after the camera crew towed him out.
Where's one of those flexi ropes? Oh, gee.
Dust and sudden creek crossing.
Man, that was close.
This was a Volkswagen driven by Ingolf Loyson.
Look, it's got no back window.
From Wangaratta. Now you see what happened when the creek engulfed Ingolf. Luckily he wasn't hurt, but his VW was very wonky.
Oh, hang on. What the?
In the dust,
Oh.
South Australian Archie Gibbs missed the corner, uprooted a sapling and crashed against a tree. Safety belt saved him and his legs from injury.
Oh. Yeah, this is out the
Another South
country,
Australian
right at the back of Gin Gin.
John Kerr and Des Ryan in car 69 also bit the dust in the dust.
Oh, man.
Veteran Len Aylward was unluckiest of all. There wasn't much left of his Holden when it capsized after he'd sportingly pulled over to let another car pass.
How are these guys, you couldn't do that in the car today. No way in the world, you'd be dead. Toowoomba. There we go. That's north of Warwick, north of Wollongara, Jennings, Tenterfield. Straight up the top of the New England.
Even of Jack Murray. And believe me, it takes some really dull weather to do that.
Oh, suicide doors. Oh my God.
We followed Granny Brown's Rolls Royce.
Oh,
We headed south for sunny New South Wales.
Oh.
But there wasn't any. And there wasn't anything to sing about, but we sang our heads off just the same. On the way, we passed Dorothy Roosevelt.
Did you see the big logs in the back of that truck?
149 sped towards the New South Wales border.
Oh, Wollongara. Here we go. It's Wollongara.
Kids
That-
from the bush schools lined the roads and cheered us on our way.
That'd be Bolivia and
This old boy
Tenterfield.
played it safe. He kept right off the highway.
Oh, look, on the New England Road.
Next day at Tamworth, we met up with the
That
models
little
and
railway
dancers.
line there, that'll be at the level crossing of Bluff
Girls lost a lot
Mountain.
of points, but
Bluff Rock.
none of their charm.
I'm going to be a pain. I just want to rewind it. I think that was... They said New South Wales.
Kids from the bush schools
I think that
lined
was...
the roads and cheered us on our way. But this old boy played it safe. He kept right off the highway.
There we go. Yeah, that's Bluff Rock.
Next day at Tamworth, we met up with the models.
That's the railway line there. Right with the railway line, just go right through the road.
Lost a lot of points, but none of their charm. Brooks was still up with the leaders. His vanguard none the worse for a bump against a tree in Queensland. Tamworth approached to his west above him.
Ooh, where's that? Oh, that's the Beardy River.
On the way, Jim Hazelton and the trial plane and Laurie Saunders both indulged in some low flying.
See, back then, we didn't have a state speed limit. It was open. State speed limit didn't come in until 1979.
On to double and an al fresco meal, if that's what you could call a meat pie and half of Jack Murray's bottle of lolly water.
Oh.
Late with the same gusto with which he rolls his car. So did Whitney.
All those big coffee cups.
Randy Brown and Cat Price took tea like ladies. But my talk with David Mackay was disturbed with a jerk. The jerk was that maniac Murray and his water pistol.
So I wonder how long these guys,
I'd have had him hauled off to a home.
New South Wales policemen in a black uniform. Geez, that's an old sight.
We cruised on past the glorious sun-dappled scenery of the Kapiti Valley.
Kapiti. There you go, Kapiti.
On through the
You know what that is, don't we?
lights on the
That's
north.
south of Mudgee. So we're coming in towards...
We were headed south, with Bert Hines and Bill Dennison making the dust fly, little realizing that ill luck lay before them.
Sounds like they're coming into Wallerawang or Lithgow.
And then
Or Bathurst.
we went into another very tough section near the
No, hang on,
North End.
Kapiti.
Ron Dunbeer pounded into a sharp creek crossing. Right behind came car 158 with hard driving young Don Garrett at the wheel.
Well, Kapiti, that's just north of, south of, sorry,
Oh, he's over the edge. Yep, he's in.
Kapiti. Well, that's just north of Wallerawang. That's south of Mudgee. Mate, this is when we didn't have roads.
Tubby Black of Terrigal made it by tearing through full bore in second gear. Behind
Now,
him,
if he's from Terrigal, means he's from Gosford up on the Central Coast, north of Sydney. Oh, the old Maury.
A cheery welcome to Victoria.
See, a lot of people don't realise that the Great Western Highway goes through the Blue Mountains was a narrow, dirt little tarred road. Mushrooms. The kids selling mushrooms.
Keith Sheedy and Eric Main and their Dauphine battled on despite 3 rollovers.
Oh, there's a train going over
Garage was still
bridge.
near the front.
Oh, look at the old wooden bridge. Oh man, where's that? Where's that? Egan and Spain.
On we went through Victorian country towns. Veteran Ron Mountford had 2 cars to worry about, his own and his wife's. But at this stage, neither Still Hall of Tamworth nor the Garrard boys had any worries. They were to come later.
So they're down in Victoria now. Oh yeah. You see the different uniform on the policeman.
We received a grand welcome at Kerrang in northwest Victoria, and so did Granny Brown. But her son Vince, who did most of the driving for her, was worried about an ominous noise in the old car's motor.
Mate, this is like a real gumball rally.
The big welcome went to the models. They were at the back of the field, but their car was in good shape, and so were they, even though little disheveled.
Oh, Australians pioneering days. Unbelievable.
From Barbara Turnbull sent us on our way, headed for Mildura. The models followed behind.
That's on the border, New South Wales Victorian border, inland, about 600 miles from the coast, Mildura and Echuca, out that way.
Beyond the sunset, lay a 600
And what?
mile night drive to Port Augusta in South Australia.
Oh God, is that where they're going?
Daybreak found a cluster of tired cars and exhausted crews at Port Augusta for 6 hours of welcome rest.
Port Augusta in South Australia. Oh my
Man,
God.
Vince Brown was so tired he didn't move from behind the wheel. The crews slept where they stopped, where they sat, everywhere and anywhere.
Oh mate, your big back would be aching. You'd be dead. Dirt road. There wasn't highways and freeways that there was now. Or there is now.
Concerned with beauty treatment than Bill Sleep. But Dave Johnson, Jack Murray's navigator, wasn't so fussy. Dorothy Rosewell trimmed the driver's whiskers, while Norm Porter operated on his own. Iris Mountford and the Hughes girls were last in and were very tired.
Well, if you just want to, how much more? I'm not going to keep. Oh mate, that's going to go for hours. It's got an hour and 11 minutes to go.
Jack covered his disappointment by clowning with Dorothy. Once an audience gathered, no one could stop him. For the benefit of the boys and the girls, he awarded Dave...
How long this? 8 months ago, 173 views. Oh look, I've got to give that a break. I mean, that's just... I'm going to come back and watch that myself. I'm just so glad that we got Ampol back. It's one of our own countries. Now, here's a very funny ad. I don't know if anybody's ever seen this yet. Australian lamb. Make lamb, not walls. Right, watch. I know I'm getting off Ampol, but... See, New South Wales? New South Wales? It's a go at Donald Trump. Look.
United Nation was divided by the Great State Walls as tensions continue to escalate. An increasing number of Victorians have applied...
Sydney votes itself the best city again. And being burnt out. Ah, check this out. Look, Great Wall. Look. There's a hole. If you haven't seen it, do you recognise who that lady was in the background?
What's on the other side, Mummy?
They're called Queenslanders.
Queenslander. See, look, he's sniffing it. What's a Queenslander smell like? I just wanted some lamb.
Sorry for trying to become our own country. Again. Even the Tasmanians have arrived. Where are the rest of you?
This is all of us.
United States of Australia.
Nah, it's just Australia. We should celebrate this day every year.
What have I missed?
Hello, look at this. That was Centrepoint Tower in the background in Sydney. I mean, Sorry for laughing on camera. Oh, that's a crack.
$10 or more at Ampol or Caltex, you can win $10,000 every weekday evening through till September the 20th.
And that's a grand total of $300,000.
Oh, so pop into Ampol Caltex now and pick up your cash card.
That's 1 month ago. That's an Ampol ad. All right, Ampol ad, 1990. Oh.
This could be you. Discovering Australia behind the wheel of a $70,000 Rodnell replica Cobra 302SC. The next time you see the Ampol commercial with this car in it, make sure you have this entry form handy. One of these shots actually doesn't have an Ampol sign. Figure out which one and either mail your entry or drop it off at a participating Ampol dealer. Who knows?
Somebody actually did win it. 1988 Ampol. Oh yeah, what's this? $1988. Oh yeah. So that's what they did. So they got bought out by Caltex because Caltex came over here from America and decided to buy out all the competition. And Ampol wasn't going too well. So they bought out Ampol. And I was the caretaker at the Ampol diesel and fuel depot at Banks Meadow. And that's why it got closed down and sold, because Caltex took over it and said, well, we don't want that, we're going to sell it. So they sold it to Visy Australia, and then Visy Australia then sold it to Toyota. Isn't it funny? Australian company got bought out by American, and now the same property is owned by the Japanese.
At the Australian company, we tune our unleaded petrol, so you are not always tuning your car.
It's not a bad ad for 1988. Bit rough as guts. It's not the greatest of pictures. What else we got? Amoco. Oh, we used to have Amoco. A lot of people used to get Ampol and Amoco. Amoco mixed up. It's American Motor Oil Corporation. Amoco, American Oil Corporation. Ampol, Australian Motoring, Petroleum and Oil Lubricant. What do you know what BP stands for? Yeah, bees. You know bumblebees? Well, the boy bees are going to go and have a pee. Yeah, BP. That's what it stands for. Australian ads from my childhood. No, I think we'll give that one there a miss. Australian Ampol ad. No, I've already seen that one. Where's? Oh, here we go. K and S Ampol at Adelaide. No. But do you remember these big blue, red petrol Bowsers? Well, they're all coming back now. Yeah, they are coming back. Apparently there's one in Granville. And all out in the New South Wales country towns. What have we got here? 43.6 cents per litre. 43.6 cents a litre. Look at the old... What's that? That's a Triumph? Is it a Triumph? I can't tell. Was it Toyota? It's not Toyota, is it? Oh no, it's a... See, the driveway attendant used to come out and put the petrol in the car for you. Oh, look, I hate that. Same as mine. Toyota Corolla, I had one of them, exact same model. There's the old Holden Commodore. Yeah, I still got a picture of that little Toyota. 43.6 cents a litre. The Super. So we don't have Super anymore because Super used to have lead in it. And then Ampol changed its name to Delta. Oh, Golden Police. Oh, anybody remember Golden Police? That's the one that was in Richmond. That's right. It's a couple of my channel people. They said, oh, they couldn't remember the service station opposite the Regent Theatre. Wasn't it a golden fleece? I know this is all Victorian. Volkswagen Beetle. 43.9 BP. Let's see if we can just find something else. Oh yeah, everybody else on my channel, for some reason, silly YouTube stuck up the statue on my train one at Byron Bay. So yeah, that's a Byron Bay solar powered train, by the way. I don't know why they put that up there. They just took it. I don't know whether the computer done it or what. It's supposed to be the next picture over on this TV set. We took that picture over there instead of taking that one. Paul Logan. Oh, there we go. Weird, wonderful Australian tourist Ampol ad. Have a look at that. Oh, how much he got? 30 minutes, 31 minutes. All right. Let's have one last look at this, and then we'll do that lamb one again. Anybody was said?
These two big names in petrol have joined forces with the biggest game on TV to bring.
There you go, Caltex. See?
Tied into our nightly cash card segment.
Yep, until August the 4th. Anyone who spends $10 or more at Ampol or Caltex.
Do you remember him? That's a young version of. Yeah, that's him.
Cash card machine on our show, they could win not $5,000, but $10,000, and that's every day.
He's still on Channel 9.
$300,000. So come on, Glenn, let's go and fill up.
Buy your petrol at Ampol or Caltex now.
That's. Oh, what's his name? Oh, yes, he's on Channel 9. Sure of it. Anyway. Well, that'll let me there. Caltex rebranded as Ampol. Oh, yeah. 8 months ago. Let's hear what this has got to say for himself.
We've seen the official rebranding of Caltex. You
yes.
spoke to the new CEO today. Did you get on to prices at the pump as well?
Look, we did. The interim CEO at the moment, and he's a fairly young CEO, Matt Halliday. I think Ampol, actually, the brand was removed in the late 90s when he was actually finishing off at UWA at university. So it's
early
back
90s.
now. Caltex is being rebranded as Ampol, and perfect time to have it when everybody's thinking about, buy Australia and disrupted supply chains, all that sort of stuff. But to your point about what's happening at the pump, of course, there's been a lot of dismay with all these falling oil prices, that petrol hasn't fallen as fast. This is what Matt Halliday had to say when asked about that.
Our customers have benefited. I think when you look at the cost base of a retail site, clearly
Acting in terms the interim.
The logistic costs are another part of it. And then there's
That's another way of saying Caltex went broke in Australia.
And so when you see the sorts of demand destruction,
that's why they've gone back to Ampol.
Petrol, 10 to 30% on diesel, and recently it's been at the upper end of those ranges. Then the sites do need to be able to make cash to be able to stay alive, and I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
So in other words,
how Ampol now has had a tough time, but jet fuel